To the Helix webinar series. Today's session is on Ask the Experts, BMC Helix Intelligent Integration. For those that haven't been on these Ask the Expert sessions before, they follow slightly differently to a webinar where we do go to live Q&A at the end. We don't prepare information per se for these sessions. They're very much guided on your questions you may have around that product or topic. So we would encourage you, if you haven't already, to put questions into the Q&A. We will come to you at that point that we get those questions, or you can also use raising your hand, and we'll also come to you for you to unmute yourself. So just a quick reminder, the session is being recorded, so if you don't want your name to be shown, if you can just put yourself as anonymous, otherwise we will be expecting people to speak on these sessions. So let's get started. Just firstly, my name is Samantha Hudson dos Santos Figueira. I work as a program manager in BMC. My role is predominantly looking at self-solve, helping assist customers to find content, and it can be in the form of how-to videos, webinars, supporting our support department to get knowledge articles out, and any creative content that will help you resolve your issues or help you get better value from the product. So I'm now going to hand over to Madhu, my co-host. Madhu, if you can introduce yourself, and then we'll introduce the rest of the panel. Can you hear us, Madhu? I think you're on mute.
Madhu, you're on mute. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, everyone. Hey, sorry, not sure what is the issue. So, hey, everyone, welcome. My name is Madhu Khaire. I'm working with BMC Software since 5 years in ADE product and supporting BMC Helix Intelligent Integration as well. So, yeah, I will pass to Nagesh. Hey, Nagesh.
Hey. Hi, everyone. My name is Nageshwar. I have been working for BMC since 11 years for different product lines, automation products, then smart reporting, then Helix dashboards, now in ADE product lines like Helix Portal, Helix Intelligent Integration. Now, I would like to hand over to John O'Toole.
Thanks, Nagesh. Hi, everyone. John O'Toole from BMC Support. I've been with BMC for 20 years now. Like Madhu and Nagesh, previously all the BladeLogic server automation products, and for the last couple of years the Helix ITOM products, intelligent integrations, intelligent automation, AI ops, log analytics, Helix Portal. Okay, Rob.
Hey, this is Rob McKeown here. I have been, I'll say, I came into BMC just over 2.5 years ago as part of the Streamweaver acquisition. So I've been associated with the intelligent integration product for 7 or 8 years since its initial inception. And before that, I was at IBM, and I've got a long and tortured career in the realm of AI ops, network management, network performance management, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm here in a technical capacity as part of the II development team. So nice to meet you guys. Praveen, you're next.
Hi, I'm Praveen. I joined BMC, part of the BMC acquisition of Streamweaver, and it's close to 2 years now. And prior to that, I worked for IBM for close to 10 years there. So I've been involved in multiple integrations for fault management, event management, network management, your performance data, and your analytics AIOps there. Over to Shilpa.
Yes, hi, I'm Shilpa. I am here with BMC for 2 years, and I have total experience of 11 years. Before that, I was with Persistent and Cognizant, and now I am in a technical team with II.
Okay, Taslim.
Hey everyone, my name is Taslim Khatadvi. I manage intelligent integrations as a product manager. Prior to BMC, I was associated with IBM, HCL, and some of the cybersecurity companies. Yeah, so that's about me.
Thank you. Animesh?
Yeah, thank you, Samantha. So, hello everyone. My name is Animesh, and I've been with BMC for last 8 years. So, I've been working with the infrastructure monitoring different product lines. Right now, currently working with the integrations team. I'm my Rob McNeil, Shilpa, and Taslim Kha are my teammates. And prior to BMC, I have an experience of working on different domains like insurance, commodity trading, etc. So I have been with number of employers, but I think right now I'm stuck with BMC, and it's good.
Thank you, Animesh.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
to our panel for all your introductions. It's definitely a big panel today, so I'm hoping we're going to get lots of questions from our customers and audience today. But regardless, we will be recording this so it can be watched at a later date. So just to get us started, I know, Madhu, we got one question that came in prior to this event. We got it from Bruna, who I can see is on the attendee list. Do you want to just read that out for the team?
Yes, sure, Sam. So, hey, Bruna. So I see the question. It is, are there any contradiction for using intelligent integration to integrate ITSM with Zabbix with Remedy version 21.3.0? So that's the question.
Thank you. And I think, Bruno, I don't know if you can hear us. I didn't get a chance to respond back on the community, but John, who's in our panel today, will put you a note out post-event. I'm not sure if you're able to speak. In fact, I think she may have dropped. We need to obviously get some clarity on that question. So I think if Bruna comes back on, I don't know if she's had an issue joining properly because she's just dropped again. Let's get some validation on that question because that's the only one we had prior, and then follow up on the community. I know, John, you've put a note already out to the community page. So apart from that question, obviously, we would like to hear from the audience that's on here. If you've got any questions, whether you're internal or external customers, do put your questions in the Q&A. If you do want to talk, please take yourself off mute. Why we give you the opportunity to do that, I certainly want to focus, one big area for me is when I do webinars, customers like to also connect with our product managers. And I know, Taslim, last year we did a webinar back in November. I wonder if you can just recap on that, and I will be sharing that link post-event today so customers can go and watch back the recording we did in November. This was around third-party data with intelligent integrations.
Yeah, sure. So, hey everyone. Yeah, back in November, we did a couple of webinars, moving to different time zones. The webinar was actually focused on around the areas that how can we get true value out of intelligent integrations? What are the use cases? What are the different personas that use these use cases? And then we also looked at how to configure a connector, how easy it is to configure a connector. And then towards the end, we also had a demo with one of the connector. We configured it and we enabled the data streaming for alert metrics and topology. And we also showcased the data that is coming into the BMC Helix operations management, BMC Helix service monitoring, and as well as BMC Helix discovery. So overall, that was the crux of that webinar. What are the use cases, how to use intelligent integrations, and what value our customers get out of it.
Thanks, Taz. And while I've got you on muted as well, from a product standpoint, what can our customers expect? What's happening at the moment with the product roadmap? Maybe you could just give a little bit of a snapshot for everyone.
Sure. So recently, in the last 3 or 4 months, we have done multiple improvements and enhancement with respect to making sure that the data ingestion has the capabilities with respect to filtering. So there are multiple connectors that we have improvised upon: SolarWinds, Zabbix, Prometheus, etc. We have also introduced a new connector called Isinga, which is majorly on the network and host monitoring related product. So we have the connector out there for Isinga. We currently support events and metrics for that connector. Going into the future for next 3 to around 6 months, what we are essentially planning is focusing on improvising on the visualization front. The matrix that we represent in the BHOM side, if you look at the hierarchy, that's this flat hierarchy as of now. So we want to use the hierarchy that is provided by the third parties. If it is parent-child kind of hierarchy, yes, we want to introduce that and showcase that visibility into the BHOM, whatever we get from the third party. Apart from that, we are going to introduce a new, totally new use case with respect to data deletion. This is currently, the design discussion in progress. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that if for a particular given entity, if we are not receiving any data for a certain period of time, we will indicate the BMC Helix operations management to make sure that mark that particular entity for deletion. And then after that, the BMC Helix operations management, it will have a scheduler, and then it will run its job to delete that entity permanently. So this is a new use case. Altogether, new use case we are going to bring out in intelligent integrations. Again, all these use cases will come, connector by connector. Initially, we are prioritizing couple of connectors, and then eventually this will this will come out for all the other connectors as well. Apart from that, we are also focusing on improvising the AIOps use cases, and one of the major use case is being the health indicator part. So the metrics that are coming from third parties, we are doing an additional improvement to classify the matrix as KPIs or non-KPIs. So after that classification is done, connector by connector, those matrix will be available as as for the configuration in AIOps for the health indicators. So then eventually all the AIOps use cases will have the KPIs available for the connectors. Overall, I think these are the major items that we are going to work upon in next 3 to 4 months. A bit of a larger goal is to work on some of the SNMP use cases as well. Some of the OAuth related use cases as well. That is that once we have these previously planned requirements covered up, then we'll take up those requirements as well. So yeah, pretty much exciting new things that are coming up for intelligent integrations for next 3 to 6 months.
Great, thank you, Taslim, for sharing that. Does anyone have any questions just on roadmap related stuff or futures? Feel free to raise your hand or come off mute, or even put a question into the Q&A. If you don't have anything now, we can always come back to Taslim during the session. So thank you for sharing that. That actually leads us quite nicely on to Rob. I know you work very closely with connectors. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add to what Taslim's just spoken about futures, because I know that's your area domain.
Yeah, well, maybe just say a few bits on that deletion topic that Taslim mentioned. So one of the things that we're doing is taking a holistic view here. So as you know, we've got II, we've got BHOM, we've got the discovery and the AIOps all working together. So part of this deletion endeavor is to make sure that we have an end-to-end use case around lifecycle management, specifically deletion for these entities. So independent of which piece of the product suite discovered an entity and brought it in, that we would be able to identify when things are to be deleted, and I'll use that term very loosely, but do it holistically. So it doesn't matter where it came into the system, that the various pieces of the portfolio will work together to do the right thing when it comes to tracking the life cycle of these entities, so that, for example, contributions to licensing costs and are managed properly, and that what is presented on the UI more accurately at any place in the portfolio more accurately reflects the reality as communicated to us from the source systems. So a big effort really to tie it all together. Individual pieces of the portfolio in the past have had their own independent capability, and sometimes, for various reasons, it doesn't all quite hang together. So it's a big focus there to just make this seamless end to end.
Thank you. And Rob, is there particular documentation around BMC docs that we can point our customers to? Not obviously now, but some links that we can share. I'm sure we must have some content placed for them to go and review.
Yeah, I honestly do not know the current state of the documentation there. I mean, this is a current development, so I doubt there's much customer-facing documentation at this stage.
Okay. I mean, I know working quite closely with our documentation department, they've just done a launch of a new face of BMC Docs. They've also got a BMC Docs YouTube page as well. So I'll reach out to them. I'll take that as an action because I know there's quite a lot of updates going on just across all of our product portfolio.
Right.
So I'll follow that one up.
And then another topic that Taslim mentioned was SNMP. So we are also in the development stages of building an SNMP. Initially, SNMP support in general in II intelligent integration, but initially we'll start with a trap receiver, which is, and you can help me here, Taslim, essentially going to replace the TSOM equivalent over time. It would be brand new from the ground up, state-of-the-art libraries. We've had some issues in the past where problems compiling MIBs, if you know SNMP technology, because some of the compiler capabilities we had were fairly stale. We're modernizing all of this, so we'll get much better support for all the current generation MIBs for SNMP v1, v2, v3. That's an activity as well. Taslim mentioned it, so it's worth saying. Yeah, it's sort of going to supplant some existing TSOM capability, bring it natively into intelligent integration. That should be good.
Great. I can see, Taz, you're nodding to agree. Okay, so no, that's really helpful for customers. Again, if there's any questions on that, please put them into the chat or raise your hand. So we do have another question. So the question that's come from anonymous attendee is, I noticed that LTS versions of Zabbix for containerized solutions are not supported amongst the out-of-the-box integrations. Is this something that will be added down the line? I don't know who can take that question. Maybe Praveen?
Yes, so we do support both. So we have the difference between the LTS version and the containerized version is the URI that is used to invoke it. And we have given an option as a text box where you can select and then update it. So it's supported for both. We currently support that.
Thank you. I've just pasted the note to confirm that in the chat. So if there's any other questions for whoever asked that question, then please reply back and say that that's answered your question. Okay, I'll just ask our support folk that are on here as the panels. It's more of a general thing to Nagesh, John and team. Typically with this product, obviously it's relatively new. Are there certain things that you're seeing coming into support, gotchas or recommendations for our customers just in your observation, or is it too early to tell?
Yeah, I can take that one, Sam. Actually, yeah, probably the most cases we get are on the on-prem gateway component. And, that's because a lot of customers require it because, if you're integrating with a third-party source, be it on-prem or on your cloud, and you don't want connectivity from BMC Helix, then your alternative is to install an on-prem component called the II Gateway. So we do get a lot of cases on that. And actually, we just finished creating a few videos on how to install that and configure it, and we'll be working on some more. So I'll paste those videos. They're on our YouTube channel. I'll paste those into the chat when I'm done here. Thanks to Madhu and Nagesh for working on those. And then in terms of connectors, yeah, probably we see a lot of probably the most common connectors we get right now just seem to be Dynatrace, MS-SCOM, Splunk, Azure, SolarWinds, but spread out pretty evenly with different customers. Different customers come to the table with different third-party products, so it kind of depends on what they're using as to which connector they'll be interested in using.
Thanks, John. Was there anything, Nagesh or Madhu, you wanted to add?
Yes, as John mentioned and clarified about the connector configuration and common use cases. Yep, we have seen a good amount of cases coming from the customers about the on-prem configurations. Apart from that, if you take a look at the rest of the cases from the customers are common use cases like a data stream is not happening. Even the configuration is successful, data stream is not successful. Though it shows, it doesn't show the error messages, but stream is not happening. So in those cases, we have, whatever the webinar we have covered previous month, that will help to cross-check the data with the source and the filter combinations, the values are coming into the filter or not. These pointers will help the customers for the common use cases.
Nagesh, I'll share that webinar that we did together a couple of weeks ago, because that will be useful content as well as what John was recommending, some of those other videos too.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, great. Just going back to the Q&A, Ahmed, hello again. I know you've joined quite a few of our webinars. It would be lovely to have you speak to us directly. So I see your question in the Q&A. Do you want to read it out yourself and we can try and answer it the best we can? Can you hear us okay? Hopefully you should be unmuted. I can see you raising your hand. You should be able to unmute yourself now. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Pleasure being here. Yeah, thanks. A pleasure being here. I'm actually sending my greetings to all the panelists. I'm pleased to be here, and I'm always pleased to raise my question, and I'm always insisting on saying thank you to you all. I'm really appreciating all your efforts. My question simply about if we do have on the road, one of the on-road integrations that is not yet implemented in the current version. If we need or we seek to have this kind of integration being implemented, shall we do upgrade to the latest version where this kind of integration is being implemented, or it's a kind of amending some files or APIs settings or whatever on the current version? I hope my question is clear.
Yeah, I think what I got from it, Ahmed, was, is it possible to sort of incrementally, partially upgrade an existing deployment with support for new integration versus a complete replacement of the existing deployment?
Yeah.
That's the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yes,
in general, when we add support for a new integration, it does require a full upgrade.
And our upgrade doesn't take much time there. It's like you can do the downtime to upgrade, perform an in-place upgrade. It's hardly 2 minutes there.
Okay, perfect. That makes me happy actually. Thanks.
And Ahmed, we are also working on the video. So in that we will be covering how to upgrade. So it will be sooner released on our YouTube channel. So be subscribed.
Oh, great.
Great. Thank you.
I was going to say, I'm looking forward to uploading more videos than Madhu. Great.
Yeah.
So Ahmed, while we've still got you off mute, was there any other questions that you had that you need help with?
Thanks. I will revise the videos. I believe we have a couple of great videos. I will check, and I'm here just to say thank you for you all. Thanks.
Thank you. So what I'll do, just for everyone else as well, any videos that we're discussing, I have a list of those. I will work with the panel today, post-event, to get a list of the ones that they recommend, including the webinar I did last year with Taslim from Product Management, and any other useful links that we feel that will benefit you. We'll share those. As mentioned, ongoing documentation is always being improved. Videos are being created. We work very closely with problem management to look at where the areas are we need to focus on. And again, if you have any suggestions or you feel that there's things missing, please reach out. I'm more than happy for you to contact me, or you can fill in the survey that will come post-event today.
I got a couple, just a few other kind of qualifications on that, adding support for new sources, new integrations. So yes, it is true what Praveen said, that the upgrade of the intelligent integration piece is fairly simple and quick. But sometimes that's not the full story. So it really depends on the nature of the data that you want. So typically in II, we concern ourselves with extracting and moving topology data, nodes and devices and all of that, metric data and event data through the system end to end. And we can add support for any one of these kinds of data generally independently. When it comes to something like adding support for a topology integration, that has II aspects to it, which goes to, hey, you install the II gateway and there you go. But it typically does require some discovery side capability added too. And so it's not necessarily true that, hey, we've just added support for data source X, we'd like to pull topology out, and you're in business 20 minutes later, because you may have to have your BHOM discovery Helix backend upgraded too, or minimally what we call the TPL files, if that makes sense to most folks here, added to your existing deployment to allow us to process the topology. When it comes to events and metrics, they generally are much less coupled with the back end, and you can get those down quickly. So I don't want anyone to run away going, hey, 20 minutes to add new support. It really depends on the nature of the data. And then there's another positive observation here. We have recently added capability, and you'll have to help me, Taslim. I don't know the GA status of this really, but even if it's not fully out there yet, we've got this emerging capability we like to call generic collection, which really means that we've got a collector on the front end of II to which you can just push data, push JSON data in, and then how you get that JSON in can be a local decision for you. You may have some proprietary data source that nobody else in the universe cares about, or we don't yet have support for it. And what you can do is just write in your favorite language, your Perl scripts, Python, whatever it wants. As long as you can write a bit of code in your environment to extract data and turn it into JSON, you can push generic JSON into our system, and we will allow you through JSLT, JSON transformation capability, to facilitate the mapping of that data into our internal metrics, events, and eventually topology. So we're trying to, for those early adoptions, particularly of sources we don't yet support, give you a mechanism to push in JSON data and transform it and move it through. And then in the fullness of time, we may well sort of take that integration or the knowledge about what works best for you and elevate that to a first-class integration. So you're not sort of, the idea is to get away from you having to wait like a year for support for something that you might be able to bang out most of the integration in your environment through some local scripts that you don't want to be in the business of maintaining long-term, but at least gets you going or understand more about the problem space. So we've recently, at least to a developmental level, added that capability, and it's somewhere on the roadmap for making generally available.
Yeah, just to add to that, Rob, that's correct. So currently we are using this capability for the internal purposes. And there are few improvements on the topology side, something that we have in the plans. And once that is done, once we have the end-to-end connectors supported, we will surely make that as one of the most awaited connector for public usage. And as Rob also was mentioning, this will ease out all the connector configurations. You don't have to look out for any or wait for any out-of-the-box connectors to come out. You can do your own configuration and connect to any other third parties. But yeah, that's still in the design and advanced level of development. But yeah, we want to make sure that it should be available to our customers sooner than later.
Thank you, Taz. We don't have any other questions, so I don't know. I'll go and reach out to the full panel. Is there anything else that you feel, just from the topics we've discussed, that you want to share with the audience? Otherwise, we can finish a little bit earlier. I don't want to force questions that may not be there. I suspect, correct me if I'm wrong, Taz and Rob and team, we will be creating more content. No doubt we'll be doing more webinars. So as we progress, there'll be more content out there. But if there isn't any questions, then I would just ask the panel if there's anything else you want to share.